She can afford to say
if
that.
you never get married, as you say, it doesn't matter. But would you be kind of upset with God if you didn't?
I wouldn't be upset with God.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I can honestly say now that I wouldn't be upset with God.
So you feel like you would have at a point in time?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like coming to blows, going to heaven, asking him what's wrong, what's up, Jesus. You, how you in? How you gonna give me no husband? Wrong for that dread. Like at one point in my life. Hey guys, welcome to the Royal Access. I'm your host, Karel Pinder, and this is
Enrico Bain.
And these 6 episodes of the Royal Access are the episodes that will premiere before the launch of my new book, May I Call You Queen? Unlocking the Royalty Code to Living Your Best Life. So usually in these episodes, I will be the host, but this first episode is a little different because I'm the guest and Enrico is interviewing me. But before we start the interview, tell our guest a little bit about who you are and how we met.
Okay, so my name is Enrico Bain. I am an entrepreneur. I sell male clothing, and I'm also in the automobile business. So I sell cars, I rent cars. Anything you need cars, hit me up. How we met?
Yes.
We met. So technically, we met in Nassau.
True.
Yeah, right. But we were going on a mission trip to Greece.
Because we love Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we do.
We do missions for Jesus. We were on a mission trip in Greece, and I don't know. My nickname for Karel is Squatty because on the trip we just kind of hit it off. So I didn't know her at all. She didn't know me at all. But we were there for like 15 days.
15 days.
For like 15 days, she was my buddy. We were like,
yes.
And we were just talking about everything and just having a good time, and it was great.
It was. Yeah, we did meet in Nassau, but the funny thing about our story is Rico was dating at the time. Ooh. I know, I'm gonna get deep. I'm going there. And we wanted to go to Santorini,
which implies I'm not dating anymore.
Right. Well, girls, you can hit him up. He's not. But anyway, at that time he was. And so we wanted to go to Santorini, but we couldn't go because he was dating. And so that's how we got close. Like we were both on the trip, and so you knew each other, but it wasn't like having any kind of one-on-one conversation. And the group was going, I don't know, 3 islands you don't know. But it's like you can't go to Greece and you don't go. It's like those blue the photos with the white building and the blue roof. So it's like how you went to Greece and you didn't go to. So that's how we bonded. It was like we can't say we've been to Greece and we didn't go Santorini.
And everyone wanted to go somewhere else. He's like, but we gotta go, and it cost like maybe $100 more. But we still were saying, but we want to go to Santorini.
Right.
We said we can't go by ourselves because of the thing.
It's gonna look bad because this girl's gonna be like, you went where? Where's that?
Who?
Oh, okay. And then that would have been the end of it. Yeah. But so we didn't go. But from that night, we kind of built a bond, and I thought he would be great for this conversation. So this episode is called Why Marriage is No Longer the Ultimate Goal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for those who've read my book, you know that marriage was the ultimate goal for a very long time in my life. So we're going to talk about why it's not anymore. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So from what I know, we had a few conversations about it. That's kind of like what we were talking about in Greece, like most of the time. But you said you have a chapter in the book. It's called the same thing. Why marriage not the ultimate goal? Mm-hmm. So I guess the first question is, why isn't it? Why is marriage not the ultimate goal anymore?
So, and when I say that marriage is no longer the ultimate goal, I don't mean that I don't want to get married at all. So those who are thinking like she's given up, like there's still time, the saints be coming in your inbox. Girl, still just trust Jesus. I believe he's coming. But it was like an obsession. It was like my whole life was centered around how do I get married? Like, what do I need to do? So, you'll have people say, why don't you join a dating site? Or you need to go out more, or you need to. So your whole focus, your whole life is about this ring. Yeah. And I think when you do that, then you miss out on all of the other beautiful things about life. And so one, you're missing out on other things because you're so obsessed about this thing that you don't have. It's like the way that you foster happiness is not being upset about the things that are not in your life. It's being grateful about what's going on currently. So I can't really understand or appreciate what's going on currently because I'm just so obsessed that I don't have this one thing. And then I think then you meet everyone you meet, you feel like that's your husband. It's not. Yeah. Like you can't meet nobody who cute is like, so is it you? Is it maybe no? How about I just your friend? Is it Jesus? Maybe that's just a friend. Maybe, but you miss out on a lot of good relationships or good friendships or good dynamics because everybody is your husband. And I think guys, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think they feel that. They feel when someone is just like, yeah, I just want a husband really bad. Like, you don't know me though. Like, what do you?
Yeah, no. Some females kind of give off the vibe. Some of them they actually say it. They give off the vibe that I'm not looking for any friends. It's a husband thing.
I just want a husband.
That's it.
Right. And then I've talked to a lot of married women who've been very transparent and say that there's challenges. There's a lot of work. It's hard. And so that doesn't mean that I don't want to be married. Hear me when I say that. It's just I want it to be what God has for me. Yeah. Because if I decide to put myself with someone just because I want to be married and tell everybody that I'm married, then it's going to be a train wreck. Because people who are in relationships where they love their spouse, they want to be married, but the reality is it's hard. So how much harder is it going to be if I try to put it together versus waiting on God? So that's why it's no longer the ultimate goal, because you have to enjoy life for what it is now. And what if you don't get married? What if you don't get married?
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
So
you mentioned, women, talking to, I guess, seeing every guy as a potential husband. So do you feel as though you missed out on a few friendships because you may have pursued more when it could have been less?
Most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. I feel like there are instances where either I missed out on friendships, missed out on a good connection because you tried so hard for it to be something that it wasn't. And instead of taking the time to really get to know the person, maybe there's someone you do business with. Maybe there's someone who's just a good friend or a mentor. Yeah. I feel like you missed out on this. And one of the things that I felt was revealed to me is that as women, unconsciously, I think, we prey on guys instead of pray for guys, like PREY instead of pray for you, because I don't know that I'm doing it, but I have this goal in my head. I'm getting married, and so this guy might be broken. This guy may have stuff going on. Maybe he's just not in that space or that season. But because I want to be married so bad, it's like, why won't you marry me? Let's get married. Like, what about who he is as a person? And maybe you're not the best fit for him, but I can't see that because I want a ring. Maybe it's not the best time for him to date at all. I can't see that. I want a ring. So you're preying on the fact that I want a relationship so bad. I'm not caring about who you are as a person and what God has as his best for you. I just want a ring. So it don't even matter what else going on. I want a ring.
That's good. Why do you think now? And I don't want to say I hate to use this word, but it comes across that way sometimes. Why do you think women are so, or some women, I should say, are so preoccupied or obsessed with getting married?
I think a lot of it stems from childhood. I think childhood, society, who you grew up around, what you saw as children. And I talk about it in the book, like, I don't even know when it started because, like, I was in nursery, like, he cute. I wonder. Under him, he like me. Like, girl, you like 3. Like how? Like, you supposed to be playing with Play-Doh. Like, why? Yeah. Why you wonder if he like you? But I did. Yeah. And so sometimes I think it's generational too. Like things that have been passed on through your bloodline, things that, people in your family might have dealt with. But there's definitely that. There's the Disney movies, growing up in the fairy tale, and this guy she found it. And so it's ingrained in you. And then society, growing up in the Bahamas, like it's an island mentality too. Like that's what we drill. Like you go to school and you get married and then you get a husband. And then you're constantly surrounded. So as a child, that's one thing, why that's ingrained in you. And you didn't even foster that or put that there. Then what you expose yourself to too. Okay. Social media. You're scrolling, you're watching everybody else get married, you're watching everybody.
Relationships.
Right. And so it's like, I want that. Ooh. I want that. I also believe one of the reasons that women feel obsessed about it is just the people that you see out that are telling you, like the older people. Going to the grocery store. You want to find a husband yet? Like, when I can find him? Did I forget? Like, I didn't forget. It's just, he's not here yet. But that pressure, that constant pressure of, and it makes you feel like there's something wrong with you. Yeah. Like, because it didn't happen. And so then that feeds on your insecurities that you would have had from a long time. And like I said, with social media, that glamorous life that people paint, that you see the wedding, you see, oh, I want to go on my bachelorette party. Oh, I want to have this one do, my dress. I want to have this. And then after that, I want to take trips with my husband. It's like, I want to do what the other people are doing because they look so happy, but it's a highlight reel.
Yeah.
And so you're obsessed with the highlight reel. You're insecure about the people who are pressuring you. Then there's some things that you didn't deal with from childhood that we're building on. So I think all of those contribute to women feeling like, oh, I want to get married.
Yeah, and don't think it's a women thing too. Men have that pressure as well. Because like you say, it's, and I don't think people do it intentionally. But the question itself is as if they make it as if marriage is the ultimate goal. The fact that you, every time you see me, you ask me when I'm going to get married. You're making it seem as if my life is lacking something if I'm not married.
Exactly.
And like you're saying, and what I like about this chapter is it's not the ultimate goal. It's one of the things that we get to enjoy, given by God. And that's good. I like that.
Yeah, cause and that's weird that you brought up that guys feel it too. So have you ever felt insecure about it? Like, you do get the pressure, but has it ever made you insecure? Like, oh, I should be married.
From time to time, I think for the most part, I've already come to grips with, you know what, if I call myself a Christian, then I've given it to God. And so I know a lot of it is on me, but a big chunk of it is on him. But I think you do feel it the older you get. I think you do feel it when you meet great girls and you're wondering, am I not capitalizing on a good, opportunity here? But, so it's a give and take sometimes, I'd say.
So when you said that, if God wants it, it's on him. He's gonna. I remember reading a book where it said God wants you to be married more than you want to be married. And I was like, what? How? Because I've been out here, Jesus, and how you want it more than me, because I feel like I really want it. And so what it was saying was, if God has marriage for you,
okay,
if it's in his plan, he wants it more for you than you want it for yourself. But so many times we get tired of waiting. I go and take things under my own. I do what I want to do. I decide to date who I want to date because God's taking too long. I decide to do these things because he's taking too long. And so I'm actually could be potentially blocking the person that he wants me to be with because I'm trying to control and manipulate things on my own. I end up in a 2-year relationship that just wasn't where I was supposed to be, and I wasted time. And so if he has it for you, the things that God has aligned and destined for your life, he wants them for you. But it also comes with being obedient, even when it doesn't, like, your current situation doesn't look like, well, does someone look like he here? Like, let me help you out. Like, I don't need your help.
This guy was here a long time. God, you taking too long. Like, I can do it. I got it.
And he's just like, I don't need your help. So
I have another question for you, though. How do you know that marriage won't complete you if you've never been married?
The reason why I feel like, because I have had things in my life where I thought once I got this, I would be good. And so it's not like I've never accomplished a goal. Like, oh, I want to get a master's. And then you got it.
Yeah.
Now what?
Now what? Yeah.
Oh, I want to be an AKA. Okay. Now what? Done. Like, and I talk about it in the book, Bahamian Icon Award. It was a big thing. I really wanted. I was nominated 3 times. I really wanted it, and I got it. And it was great. I got interviewed. I did the thing on the stage, and then when I got off, it was like, dun, 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 dun. Okay, no. Like, it's not, it doesn't complete you. Like, it's good. You enjoy it, and I don't regret it. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad we have that achievement, but what next now?
Yeah, I got you.
What next? So, and then again, I've had conversations with transparent married people who love their marriage, but it's like, I still want more out of life.
Yeah. It's not the end of all things,
I don't just want to sit here in this room and like, I'm married. Well, let's just be married. Like, there's more. There's more. And it's not a kid either,
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes me realize, like, get it now. Understand what it means to be happy now in the wait.
Yeah. So if I'm single, what should I be doing? Like,
I just here.
Yeah, what do I do? What we doing?
I think as a single person, there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do. First, if you don't know where to start, talk to someone who's married and ask them the things they can't do. And then be like, okay. But even before that, I talk to God about what he has me to do. Because you can get caught up in doing things just because they say to do them. So there's some Christian leaders who would say, get involved in a ministry, teach Sunday school. Now, if that ain't your purpose, don't go do that. So don't just get busy. I'm not talking about busy work, because I can't say I'm busy work because you in children ministry mad, talking about Jesus and send us Boaz, and you don't want to be there. You don't like it. You don't want to be there. No. So definitely take some time and really talk to God about what it is that you have me to do. It could be starting a career. It could be being involved in ministry. It could be connecting and forming a community. You guys have a community with young adults. Yeah. Like, it could be getting involved in a community like that. But there's something that you could be doing during this time. It's not, because the thing is, you're a help, as women, we're a helpmate. Right. And so if you're not doing anything, if I'm a guy, how are you going to help me?
Come on.
What
now.
skills you got?
Come on now.
What skills you got?
Okay.
You just been sitting waiting for me to reach?
So you're saying I need to be trying to master something, trying to grow.
Trying to do something because a guy. So the guy, for women, the guy has to have a vision. He has to know where he's going. Okay. So I am joining your vision. I'm going to help you with this vision when I join you with this vision. So when I meet you, you can't just be sitting there talking about I have money or I think, and you don't know where you go it. Cool. So that's for the guy. So that's the girls looking out. The guy, what they need to be looking out for is, I do have a vision. I do have some things to accomplish. How you going to help me? That's great you could cook. That's great you can slam it down in the bedroom. But our life can be more than slamming it down in the bedroom and cooking. It's more than that. And I feel like someone who's going somewhere, who's purposeful, or who's trying to follow the vision God has for his life, he has to know that you're going to be an asset. So if you're so consumed about this ring, when it's time for us to move in this as a couple in this marriage, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
How you helping out?
Yeah. And so I guess what I'm getting is, you're saying your life is not missing anything if you're not married. So just live life.
Just live your life.
Live life.
And then 2, you may not get married.
Yeah.
People don't like that question. I have a friend. I'm not gonna call her name, but I have a friend. Okay. She hates when I ask her that question. Like, what if you never get married? Like, what if you never get married? Because it's true. What if you don't? Yeah. What if you don't? I just dealt with a painful situation this year. My brother passed. My brother was not married. Sorry to hear that. So thank you. But he never got married. And then I know someone else who's around his age. She's a female. She died the year before. She never got married. And then I know a lady, we just experienced the storm. She got married 2 months before that. So and then she had 2 months of marriage. So why do I put all my life, all the great things about life into this one day that either may not happen, or I could die immediately after it happens, or you understand, there's too much invested into this one thing that if it's a part of your purpose, it's going to come. And if it's not, then there's other great things for you to experience and you're missing it. Yeah. You're missing a lot of those great things. Yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that, but for time's sake, let me ask you the question I have for you. Okay. So you're saying, if it's God's will for your life, it'll happen, right? Mm-hmm. I know people say that, but they, in the back of their mind, they still feel like, I'm getting married.
But I get married. I know I get married.
If you never get married, as you say, it doesn't matter. But would you be kind of upset with God if you didn't?
I wouldn't be upset with God.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I can honestly say now that I wouldn't be upset with God.
So you feel like you would have at a point in time?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like coming to blows, going to heaven, asking him what's wrong, what's up, Jesus. You? How you in? How you gonna give me no husband? Wrong for that dread. Like at one point in my life, there would real talk. But I think that I have, like I said, this year was a lot. And I think going through this, it made me realize more so it's about the lives that you touch. Yeah. It's about the lives that you touch along the way. And I could be like, yes, that's an enjoyable experience. Yes, I've been waiting, holding it down, celibate, and that's hard as heck. So yes, I would like to, be married so I can freely do that. Right. But if I never experienced that, I think it'll be hard. From certain aspects of that's where I saw my life going, but I wouldn't be upset at God because at the end of the day, I know His will is perfect. Yeah. So will it be hard? It will be hard because for so long it was an idol, and so you can't. As humans, I don't want people to say, "Well, okay, I'm good with Jesus, but you lying." Like if it was an idol, it's gonna take long to release that, and so it may be hard if that doesn't come to pass. But it doesn't mean that there aren't great things for me to experience, and it doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy my life or that I'm upset with God because at the end of the day, He knows the better plan. I had someone say to me before, you may think that when you're in a marriage, your life will be better, but what if it's worse? What if it's worse? What if you have to deal with all of these things that make it a lot more worse than when you were single? it's not a better life. You're the
you're
image in
thinking
your
it is.
head
Yeah.
is better.
Yeah.
So if He has it for you, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and like you said, it's kind of because of a lot of it is because of what has been portrayed to us. We
Yes.
think we see highlight reels and we think that's it. That's the
This
trips, the photos, XYZ. Those are the things that marriage is all about.
Yes.
When people forget that marriage is full of Wednesday nights and Friday evenings and
Right.
Tuesday mornings, just regular plain everyday
Regular,
life.
regular.
What's up?
Yes.
So one last question.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure we have a lot of people who is still at this point where they're waiting, they're wondering. You know, what advice would you give a female or a male who is waiting and wondering if they're gonna get married, when they're gonna get married? What would you say to them?
First thing, read the book. May I call you queen? First thing, read the book. Shameless plug. Read the book. But on all honesty, I would tell them to, one, really spend some time just one-on-one with God. After that, and also in addition to that, because some people, they don't know what that looks like. They've never done it. So that's just a very vague, cliche, wrap it with a bow. Connect with people who are on that wavelength. If there is somebody who's a mentor for you or an accountability partner who seems like, you seem pretty okay with this or a little better or a thing, I'm shed some light. How did you get to that point? Can we connect? What's community look like? I had this young lady, she reached out to me and she said she got out of a bad relationship. She just wanted to connect with some other sisters who were also on the same wavelength as her. And so some of the things I was telling her, she was like, but I know all of this. I'm like, I know. But the thing is, if you stay so long away from having that time with God or stay so long away from people who are like-minded like you, you're going to forget it. Because we're human. So it's what you feed yourself. If I'm feeding myself watching people on social media get married, if I feed myself saying around people who like, I can't wait till I get a man. If I'm feeding myself with these kind of things, the insecurity is going to build. Whatever, if you don't feed it, it'll die. But if you feed those insecurities, it's going to build. So you have to starve it by connecting yourself with people who are not on that wavelength, but just on the wavelength of just living purpose. And once you connect yourself with those people and you continue to talk to God about it, it will still be hard, but you'll start making progress into feeling okay about the season you're in.
That's good.
Yes, thank you so much, Rico.
Thank you. I learned a lot today.
Yeah, you did. I learned a lot. Thank you for tuning in to episode 1. Make sure to see us next week for episode 2 of Royal Access. See you later.